Hello everyone and welcome back, it's Galina. Today I'm going to create some fancy backgrounds for this amazing shaker die called SEASHELL from Studio Katia. But actually I'm not going to make any shakers, I will use just some outline die cuts from this die. Today I'm going to play with some alcohol inks, and if you don't have any alcohol inks in your stash, you can try to get a similar effect on your paper with some watercolors or maybe distress inks. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a watercolor version from me. And what I'm doing now is I'm applying alcohol and alcohol inks on a special plastic paper. It calls Yupo paper or just paper for alcohol inks. And I'm just simply mixing few colors with alcohol and I'm drying them up with my hair dryer. And I'm adding a gold metallic alcohol ink over my pink color. This kind of ink will create a nice shimmer on my paper. I'm adding a few additional layers of ink and drying them up to create a nice splashes on the paper. Next I'm going to create two more backgrounds for shells because I'm going to place on my card 3 shells with different ink-colored backgrounds. This time I'm going to mix some deep and light yellow colors, and again at first I'm applying a regular alcohol and then my inks. I'm mixing them up with my hair dryer and I'm trying to dry them a bit. For my third background, I'm going to combine light blue ink with some deep teal colors. I'm mixing them up again with alcohol and I'm trying just a little bit of my gold shimmer ink. And on this background, my gold metallic ink going to create some green shades of ink, and this kind of ink will look awesome after drying. After I'm done with my ink backgrounds, I'm going to die cut a lot of shells with this beautiful die. I'm going to cut out 3 pieces from white cardstock and 3 pieces from a gold mirrored cardstock. Here I'm using just my leftover pieces and I'm running them through my die cutting machine. This die cuts a thin frame around the shell itself, and some inner pieces. I'm going to save my leftover die cuts for another project. And for today's card, I'm going to combine white and gold pieces together. And now I'm applying a small amount of liquid glue on the back side of my gold shells, and I'm trying to find a best place where I can place my shell. I'm attaching my gold die cut directly on a Yupo paper, and then I'm going to attach my white thin frame around the shell. I'm using the same liquid glue and I'm applying just a tiny dots of glue on my thin die cut. After that, I can cut off the excess paper with my scissors, and don't ask me why I use such large scissors for this step, but anyway, I cut it properly and I'm going to repeat those steps for my 2 other die cuts. To decorate my card, I'm going to cut out one more thin frame. This time I'm going to use a die from Loop die set. I separated this frame die from my background and I'm running through my die cutting machine with a white paper sheet. I'm attaching all 3 of my shells on a gray paper. I don't use any foam tape on this step because I want to place my thin white frame over the shells. So I'm applying glue on a thin white frame and I'm going to place it on a gray paper. And again, I'm cut off the excess paper with my scissors. To create a sentiment, I'm going to use a small stamp set with super adorable turtle called SHELL-EBRATION, and it's perfect for my card. So I'm going to hit emboss the sentiment on a black piece of cardstock, and I'm using a super fine detail white embossing powder. I melt it with my heat gun and I'm going to trim off the paper with my craft knife and a ruler. I foam mount my card panel on a white A2 card base using a regular white foam tape, and for a sentiment I used a special black foam tape. It will make my sentiment more accurate. And here's another reason why I like this card so much, because I can add as many transparent bubbles as I want, and I really put them a lot and they look awesome on this card design. And here's my finished project with super fancy seashells with a lot of bubbles and shine, and I really like this card because it makes me so happy with all these small details. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye!